everyone, Vizzey here. So today we're gonna talk about something that I kind of started doing recently and I really found my passion on it because it's a lot of fun, and we're gonna talk about my cosplaying, and I will give you a small guide of how I did my Trickster cosplay, the Neon Night version. I received a lot of messages from you on how I worked on the cosplay and what materials I used or where I bought all these things. Most of the things that I had, I already had them in my closet and I just freestyle on it. I didn't buy anything that was pre-made on that cosplay. You cannot buy this cosplay anywhere. And today I'm gonna show you a small guide on how I worked on it and what I used and how I did all of these things. So first of all, we're gonna start with 4 important points that you have to look at this cosplay. This is how I worked and how I organized everything. So if you think you work differently, just go ahead, but this is like my structure and my organization on how I did it. And also, friendly reminder, I'm new to cosplay. I don't know what works really fine. I'm not a professional. I'm just improvising. I freestyled this whole entire cosplay and just thought, okay, this might work well, this might not work well. So I'm pretty new to it. Some things might be terrible for you guys and you would just like, you know, run against a wall because I did it the wrong way. That's just me improvising and showing you on how I did this cosplay here. So yeah, if you have any tips or any suggestion on how to make it better next time, just leave a comment down below and I'm always happy to hear some critique and some suggestions. So the first 4 things that we're gonna talk about is first analyzing, then planning, materials, and production. So first of all, for analyzing, you have to analyze the outfit clearly. If you have the skin in Dead by Daylight, just open it and look at it. Do a 360, take some screenshots, look how it's worked on, look which materials were used, look everything that is there. If you don't own the outfit and you don't have access to this at all, just look at the concept art on ArtStation of the Trickster because there is one up, and also look at some YouTube videos of some YouTubers that are there that play the Trickster and present the outfit, or just look at some official trailers that Dead by Daylight put out there because there's a lot of Trickster screenshots out there just to see how you have to work on it. Personally, what I do is I take a lot of screenshots and I do a folder on my phone of every part that I need, and there are several parts that you have to look for. So first of all, you have to look for the mask, then you go with the t-shirt, then you go with the jacket, the pants, the shoes, and the weapon and the gloves. I will not talk about the weapons and the shoes because I didn't do the shoes at all. I didn't work on it yet, but I will work in the future. And for the weapon, I have a weapon back here, as you can see, but it's made with like pipe insulation and it's really cheap, and I really want to redo it again. I will do a separate video where I will explain you on how I work on my weapons. So first of all, after you see you need all of these parts, check what needs to be done. Personally, I always have a journal where I write everything down, and I write the dates when I want it to be done, and I write the parts that I want it to be done and what I have to work on. So as I said before, there are different sections that you have to work on, such as t-shirt, jacket, pants, etc. So divide these in sections where you have to work on. What you have to keep in mind is you can work simultaneously. While you're waiting that something is kind of drying out, you can work on something else. So if you are in a rush, always think about, okay, this is what I'm gonna work simultaneously because then I have it done. But if you have enough time to do that cosplay and you're patient enough, you can just like take your time and let it dry and do your own thing and then start the next day. But me personally, I was preparing this cosplay for the convention. I had like 4 days time and I created all this in 4 days, so I had to organize myself properly. So the next part, we're gonna talk about the materials that you need. Since I divided everything in sections, I thought, okay, I need this part for each section. So for the t-shirt, of course I needed an oversized t-shirt, and I bought just a random oversized t-shirt that would fit me and that kind of looks loose but not too cheap. And of course the Trickster t-shirt has an X on it, so you kind of need some colors off that for that. And there I thought about using acrylic and spray paint, but you can also buy some ironing foil in red. For the bottom part of the t-shirt, he has some neon yellow spikes on that. Personally, I think that I could never recreate that because it's super difficult unless you have a printer where you can print it on. Then you can of course do it, but since I live in a budget and I really can't afford any fancy machineries for making t-shirts or doing cosplays and 3D printing and whatsoever, ever. So I decided to just like freestyle it. There I thought about, okay, I kind of need some neon yellow spray paint, and then I will work with my imagination after. For the jacket, I was really lucky because I already had the jacket in my closet for 6 years and I wanted to throw it away. I have there a light jean bomber jacket from Old Navy and I never really used it, so I kind of wanted to just get rid of it. But thank God I didn't, because 6 years later I used it for the Trickster cosplay, which is amazing. So if you want to look for the material on the internet, just look for a light bomber jacket in jean, in a really thin jean, not original jean, but you can also do jean if it looks like the Tricksters. And yeah, just look in the internet, you're gonna find a lot. You can also find like a darker blue, but you can always dye it differently, always spray paint it differently. So don't worry about the material, just worry that it looks like the Trickster's jacket and also that it has the color that is similar to the one that you want. So for the coloring, I thought about, okay, what colors do I need? And since the jacket was kind of like a light jean color, I thought about, okay, I kind of need some fabric paint, and there I used the fashion spray in sky blue, and I bought 2 bottles for them because that's gonna be the base for the jacket before I spray paint all the details on it. And then I thought about, okay, he has like some stains on it that kind of look spray painted on it, so there I used cyan spray paint, purple, and a pink one, because these are gonna be kind of like the details that you're gonna put on the jacket after you spray paint everything blue. Moving on, what I also needed is, like, thank God we also used the yellow spray paint for the t-shirt, so you also need this for some details that are on, such as the logo and the circles that are around there. And what else you need is some black spray paint for the patterns that are on it. So for the details of the jacket, there I know that I need some zips because he has 2 zips. One is on the chest and the other one is on the right arm. And then I also need some straps because he also has some straps around the jacket. And what else you need is kind of like take a black hoodie if you have it and you don't really need it, and just cut the hood out and just sew the hood on the jacket. That's what I did. You can also look for a bomber jacket that has a hood, a black hood, or just buy a cheap hoodie in black and just cut the hood and just like put it on it. That's how I did it. It's like the simplest way, because if you look for a similar jacket that is exactly like that, you will never find it, so you have to improvise a bit. Moving on with the pants. There I looked on the internet for black cargo pants, hip-hop or K-pop, because the Asian fashion, which I really love, they have like some cool pants like that. So I just like found some on the internet. I think it's an Asian distributor, and I picked a bigger size because normally the sizes are a little bit small, and me being an Asian myself, I kind of need a bigger size as well. So it's totally fine if you get a bigger size or if you find some pants somewhere else. As you can see, the pants consist of stripes, and it has orange stripes and white stripes. And there I bought the neon orange spray paint as well from the same brand. It's honestly, it's graffiti spray paint. I didn't even know that it will work, but if you put a base of acrylic, it will work definitely. And I also used white spray paint for the white stripes that are there. And the pants also has like some straps that looks like kind of like a belt. I used this orange strap that you can find on the internet. You just need a little bit, but they sent me like this much. Or you can also go to your fabric store of trust and you can buy just like a little bit of it. And he also has like a thinner strap around another leg, and there I used this one elastic that I also kind of used for the jacket as well, which is pretty helpful. I really don't like the one that is not elastic. I don't know why, but I prefer this one. For the gloves, I just looked for some faux leather gloves, a half glove. How are they called? Half glove? Half gloves? Mid gloves? Me gloves? I don't know. Just look for some biker gloves for leather. Don't get real leather. And the only thing that you need is just there. You just need to cut the parts. Unfortunately, you can really not find gloves that don't have the hole there. It doesn't have to look the same. You kind of can recreate something in your own style, so don't worry about finding the exact thing there. What you also need, I totally forgot about that. See, the most important thing, what you also need is a white wig. I bought a Kakashi wig, like just a wig that is down. You can buy a Gojo wig, a Kakashi wig, any white wig. And also I bought some Copic marker refillments in teal and blue, because I'm gonna use that with rubbing alcohol, so you also need rubbing alcohol on that one. So moving on, I started the cosplay with the wig. I don't know why, but when I do the wig, I know that the cosplay is gonna be good. If I know that the wig works, because especially for the Trickster, the wig has to be on point. For me, the wig is the thing that counts the most. The wig has to look natural, the wig cannot look too synthetic, so I decided to dye the wig on my own. So what I did with the wig is first I mixed all the colors together, and then I started with the teal color. Well, I started first with the green color because I thought like, he might have a little bit of green where, you know, he has the undercut. But in the end, it didn't look well, so I decided to do everything teal. So I dyed the whole entire wig in teal, and I left a little bit of the roots white because the roots are gonna be blue. And then after the teal is was kind of dry, I dyed everything with the blue on top of it. You can see the nice transition. After I dyed the wig entirely, I started cutting the hair, and I'm really not good at cutting. Hairdressers would yell at me because I really did it bad, but I cut the whole entire wig. I did a pixie cut, and I also separated the hair properly the way his like hairline is. It kind of turned out well. I was really proud of the wig. That's the most important thing, because once I got the wig, I was like, well, now I'm gonna start doing everything. So for the next part, it's gonna be like the whole entire painting scenario that is kind of like super difficult, and it was a big pain for me. The first thing that I did for the entire thing while the wig was drying and while I was like planning on, okay, what am I gonna start with, I created the stencil for each part that is there, because as you can see, the Trickster's cosplay has a lot of geometrical patterns on it. So the t-shirt has the X, and then the jacket has like some triangles and some stripes and the logo and the circle, so you kind of needed the patterns as well. So I decided to do stencil. I thought about like that's the best idea because it's Neon Nights and it's kind of like a street wear, and it's kind of like some street style. So I thought about, okay, if we work with spray painting, it will kind of look cool. After I created all the stencils, I started with the t-shirt. So the t-shirt basically has an X on it, and you can use the ironing foil on the t-shirt, or you can also do it as I did, just like use acrylic paint as a base on it, and then you spray paint on it with this color here. The most efficient way would definitely be the ironing foil, but I didn't have it at that time, so I was kind of like improvising. But if I would do it again, I would definitely use that foil instead of the painting. You have to do the acrylic base a couple times. Make sure that you do it even with the pens and everything, just do it a couple times, because if you use spray paint on just raw fabric, you're gonna have some small crumbs on it and it's not gonna look good. It's gonna look super cheap and worn out, so I would definitely not recommend you doing that without. So after I did the X, make sure a painting brush just did this X, right? Make sure that it looks like really rushed. Don't make it look like too symmetric. I continued with the bottom of the t-shirt, which is the yellow thing. So there I used this color here. I knew that I could do the bottom, like I could paint the bottom fully without even like thinking about, okay, is it gonna look bad or good not. I just like spray painted everything, the whole entire bottom, like really thick and bold. And then as I went up, I just like distanced myself and I went a little bit more far away just to have these like small sprinkles on it, and it looks like it's kind of washed out. I could have also done the stencils on that because those are like kind of spikes there, but I really didn't like it because you're not gonna have it similar as that, and with the painting, doing it one by one, it would have been a pain. So I just did a version of my own. After everything is dry, I took a little bit of the fabric and I kind of folded it together. Like, for example, sorry, I'm using this mask like this. And then I took the scissors and I just cut it once. And then I took another part and then I cut it again. So I did it a couple times until it was kind of like this here, all cut out. And then I sew on some parts together just to not make it hang too loose because it was really loose. And I sew everything together at the convention because I saw like, okay, this is a bit too much and it's not gonna look good. So I just like sew everything together. Continuing with the jacket. Okay, the jacket was the biggest pain in the ass. I had to attempt it twice. I had this problem where I already did this, but I only had one bottle and then it was empty and I just did the front. So I bought 2 bottles at the end at my second attempt and it worked out super fine. So I did the base of it. So the entire jacket, I spray painted it with this one, It's, as I said, it's a fabric paint, so you can put it in the oven at 150 degrees for 8 minutes and it's gonna stay on the clothing then. I did the whole entire base there, and after it was dry, I started using the sign. Always keep in mind that you have to look at the Trickster's jacket, how it is, because these parts appear on the jacket in different areas. It's not like the whole entire jacket. Just see, okay, this is where it's bright, so I'm gonna use this one there. I did this as like the first base or the second base of the jacket after I used the first one, and after that was dried out, I used the purple spray paint and I spray painted some parts where the purple was there. As I said before, always look at the jacket and how the jacket was made and how the jacket was kind of painted, because it really helps you to keep that really similar to the one that he has. After I used the dark purple, I used the pink one and I sprayed it on the purple one to make it a bit brighter, because on some parts, as you can see of the jacket, it's like kind of dark, but then in the middle parts it's kind of brighter, so this one would give you the effect of it. I never thought it would work out, and if you did a mistake, for example, oh my gosh, that's not where the purple was supposed to be, you can always take the sign one and you can correct yourself over and over again. It happened to me so many times. Thank God this color, if you did a mistake with this one, you can always wash it out and you can start over again. I started doing first the stripes, because the stripes are really important. You have the stripes first here on the right side underneath the circles. You have a long stripe in the back where the logo comes on it, and then you also have another one, I think, on the sleeve, and these are the things that I started off with. After that, I spray painted the logo because you already had the stripe in the back. Put the logo on it. Make sure to align it properly. Make sure to align it the way the Trickster has his logo on there and his stripe there, because that's really important. If it's not really aligned well, it's not gonna look good. Another thing is that if you are doing the triangles here, just make sure that like 4 rows, you have 4 rows of these like triangle things, and 3 rows are like really bold, and the upper one is really lightly blended. After you added all the stencils, make sure that the stencils are really fixated well. After I spray painted everything, I put everything in the oven before adding the details so the color would be fixed. As you can see, the Trickster's jacket consists not only on like the patterns that it has, but it also has some small details such as the buckles in the back and the hoodie and also the zip. Then he has like kind of like some straps around his thing, and I honestly have a love-hate relationship with my sewing machine, so I kind of hot glued everything, most of the things, not all of them. Like the back straps, I was still having some hope in sewing everything, but then after I was like, yeah, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna hot glue everything. So do it how you prefer it. I will definitely one day sew everything together, but I was really in a rush and I didn't want to fight with my sewing machine, so I kind of did it like that. Moving on with the next part, and the next part are the pants. I kind of did some extra stuff there. Instead of using some stencils there, I used some tape to do all of these things. Of course, I started off with a base of acrylic and then I spray painted everything on it. Here the same way as well. I used this one as well just to do all of these patterns. And what I did, it's something super extra because I kind of bought them. You can get some RGB strips for your arm when you go jogging at night, and I kind of bought some of them because I thought like I kind of can put it like on the whole entire pants, but then it was like too short. Then at least let me put it somewhere because I kind of want to have it. So what I did here is I cut the pocket and I slipped this here. I sew it together, and now every time I walk around, you can just like, you know, turn it on. So it's kind of like cool. It's a cool concept. I wish I could do it in the whole entire pants. Make sure that you look at the Trickster pants, because as you can see here, you have the strap here, the black strap, and then there is like some space underneath it, and then you have this like white strip. Same goes with the back. With the back here, you have the strip on the right side, and then you have this strap here around it, and then you have another stripe here on the other side, and then you have to look that there's another one there. I only did it with acrylic because I was too stupid, but I would definitely also spray paint that. But if you can find also the foil, the ironing foil, I think it will take much more time away than doing it the way I did it. So make sure that you can find some ironing foil that is kind of like neon orange or white, and then you can just like, you know, iron it, and it makes everything easier instead of like, you know, racking my head there. I would definitely do it differently next time. Moving on with the mask, I bought a pack of masks, and if you're at the convention, it's kind of cool. You can put either the mask like underneath behind it, the FP, I don't know what the masks are called, but anyways, I did this with acrylic paint, and I still had a necklace with like some small diamonds. I put the mask on, and then I went to the mirror. So I was looking at myself in the mirror because it has to align really properly on that one. So I was working there with a mirror because you have to wear the mask and see, okay, this is where it is. Make sure to use some fabric crayons that you can wash out after, because it's gonna help you a lot. This was my explanation of the Trickster cosplay. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it was really helpful for you. I just wanted to show you or give you a small guidance on how I worked on it and what I was using and how to really work all these details out, because this jacket has a lot of details, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did this cosplay with my help, let me know in the comments down below, or tag me on Instagram and let me show you all your work, because I would love to see what you created there. Because every trickster that I saw at the Dokomi and every trickster that I see on the internet, I love it. Definitely tag me in it, show me what you did there. I want to see a whole trickster army being created here. I hope it was super helpful, and I will leave down below all the stencils that you need for the jacket that you can print out, cut it out, and then you can also use it for your own cosplay. And that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support that I'm getting for the Trickster cosplay, and also for all the support and love that I'm receiving on the internet from all of you. I'm really overwhelmed because it's really my first time cosplaying, and also like I just started, so I'm pretty new. As I said before, I'm not a professional, but I will always be there to help you, and I'm always willing to help and always show you the things that I did and that was in my mind, because my mind is pretty abstract. So yeah, leave a comment down below and like the video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, and I'll see you all in the next one, where I will do a tutorial of the weapons of the OG Trickster cosplay, and also a new cosplay that is gonna be up there soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Thanks for watching.